That was really cool. I'll send you some links to check it out. You give me honest feedback. I will.
I'd like to bring the Board of Education back over. We start with donation. Catalano.
Good afternoon, Chair Lamb, Superintendent, and members of the board. You have before you a donation letter, the amount of $1,500. These donations are from two schools. City High School received a donation of $500 from Child Trends to be used for general funds. And D.S. Johnson Elementary School received a donation of $1,000 from SRI International to be used to support school improvement. The superintendent recommends approval of all donations as presented.
I move that we approve the donations as presented.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Washington, second by Ms. Chavis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All likewise, thank you. Personnel recommendations. Ms. Wallace.
Good evening again, Chairman Lamb, President, virtual board members. The personnel report has been presented and reviewed. On behalf of Superintendent Ellis, your approval of the personnel report is requested.
Motion by Mr. Silver, second by Ms. E. Bullock. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise. Personnel recommendations for information only, Ms. Wallace.
Those personnel recommendation reports are not, they do not require an approval.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2021-2022 board meeting calendar, Dr. Catalano.
Good afternoon, Chair Lamb, members of the board, and Superintendent Ellis. We have got the remainder of the academic year 2021-2022 calendar for approval. The dates pick up in January. We had previously approved dates for the calendar year, and aligned with board policy are going to begin approving dates for the academic or the fiscal year. The superintendent is recommending approval of the 2021-2022 Board of Education meeting dates as presented.
Motion by Mr. Silver.
Second.
Second by Ms. Washington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Activity bus purchase. Mr. Davis.
Good afternoon. Purchase of 14 activity buses to replace current activity buses with the age of 20 years. White's National Bus and Carolina Thomas submitted bids. White's International submitted a low bid of $89,554.85. Total cost of 14 buses is $1.53,350.56. Cost will be funded with ESSER stimulus funds. Superintendent recommends approval to purchase new activity buses to Whites International as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Chambers, second by Mr. Silver. Purchase activity buses. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, likewise. Parker Middle School Gym, HVAC replacement.
A pre-bid was conducted in May at Parker Middle School for the replacement of HVAC equipment in the gymnasium. So Pipe Carolina Commercial Systems bids. SPC submitted a low bid of $178,850 as shown on the attached bid document. The project will be funded with stimulus funds. Superintendent recommends the project be approved to SPC in the amount of $178,850.
I will entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Silver, second by Mr. Chambers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Northern Nash Middle School HVAC replacement 600 wing. Mr. Davis.
Pre-bidding was conducted at Southern Nash Middle in May for installation of new HVAC equipment in the 600 wing. Offered Mechanical Systems USA, Allred Mechanical, and CCSNC submitted bids as shown on the attached bid document. Offered Mechanical submitted a low bid of $347,000. This project will also be funded with ESSER stimulus funds. Superintendent recommends the project be approved to Alfred Mechanical for the amount of $347,000.
I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Chambers, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. S. Bullock. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. Motion carried. Northern Nash High School Fieldhouse Design Services contract. Mr. Davis.
Okay, an RFQ was advertised in late May and responses received on June 3rd for design services for the field house at Northern Nash High School. The field house has a total budget of $2 million. Will be a two-story structure, roughly 8,000 square feet. Oak Collier Architectural, LS3P, and High Architectural firms responded to the RFQ. For reviewing the RFQs, I'm recommending Oakley Collier Architectural firm for the design services for the Northern Nash Field House in the amount of $135,000. For the design service will be provided by Nash County in the 2021-2022 school year. Superintendent recommends approval as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Chambers. Second by Ms. Bullock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. Motion carried. Surplus Rocky Mount Baseball Stadium. Mr. Davis.
Okay, the June board meeting, staff was directed to speak to Mr. Arrington with the League of Our Own Baseball League. Since our meeting, we have had increased in interest in the property. I reached out to all parties that had interest and had them send me an offer on property. The three respondents were from Evan Jones in the amount of $3,000. We have the Buck Leonard Association, purchase price of $103,000 with a down payment of 10% or $10,300 with a balance of $92,667 to be paid annually over 6 years, which is a rate of $15,444.50 per year. We've also got an offer from Future Entrepreneurs of America for $70,000 or lesser amount if agreed upon by both parties prior to the signing of the contract to be paid over 10 years with $700 due at signing. This time I be directed by the board as to which direction we would like to go.
Any discussion?
Yeah, you recap that?
So we have an offer of $3,000 from Mr. Kevin Jones. We have an offer of $103,000 Buck Leonard Association, and $70,000 from the Future Entrepreneur of America. No, sir, they're from the latter, the Future Entrepreneurs of America.
Mr. Davis.
6 years with 10% down, 1,300 down, the balance paid over 6 years. Sir? 70,000 over 10 years with 700 do it.
Would be interested, if I may speak, Mr. Chair. I would be interested in knowing specifically what each of these two groups, because Mr. Jones is the business next to it, is that correct? Mr. Jones is a business owner. He's probably near
Yes.
the field. Okay.
Mr. Jones, I'm not sure how close. I do know he's the one that purchased the previous two houses we surplus back at Rocky Mountain Middle School.
Okay. I would be interested in knowing specifically what the other two groups actually offer for youth of our communities, because I would hope that that land could be used to enhance the lives of our children. And I want to compare what each group has heard over our time apart. Heard comments from both sides for and against the land and each other. So before I could make a decision that I think would be the best, putting aside money value, my priority would be who would best benefit the community with our children. And I don't have that detailed information yet. So I would rather we not vote. I would move that table this decision until our August 2nd meeting, if I could.
Mr. Chair, not according to West last group maybe a few words about.
They can come to this meeting, not today.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
I contend to agree with Ms. Wolf on that. I think it's very important when we have property located in the heart of strong communities, the money is important, but the value to the community and upkeep of the property and what it's going to give to our community is important as well. So I think we should probably get a little more. We've heard one side. I would really like to hear what people are planning to do with it.
Any other comments?
I'll just go when strictly from a business standpoint. I don't know if the school district is in the business to provide seller financing. It sounds like for a lot of these options, there is a huge gap in price that we're talking about. But I think us holding a note or us, providing finances for 7 up to 6 up to 10 years, right out legally, I'm sure some kind of agreement can be drawn up. I don't know if that's in our best interest and the ongoing expense of maintaining it. I guess that you can fold into the list, but the trying out the sooner that we got out is in our best interest.
only comment I like to make, I know that when we just talked about HVAC system, you have to take, or more or less take the level of bid. Like Mr. Dunn said, we need to get out of the field business. You know, when we sold Spalding, when we sold RO Pope, it went to the upset process. I'm sort of in favor of being consistent in what we've been doing in the past. Mr. Dunn said, I cannot see school system financing a ball field for 10 years. I wouldn't want to do it. I can't believe a school system would do it. I agree with Ms. Bullock. We can maybe table it to the August 2nd meeting and have groups come in and speak. But right now, if I had to vote, I would vote to the upset bid process. Yeah.
I'd like to say as much as I bring about what is from the community, but now that we said that, I would be crazy not coming here and promise you the world by land. So keep in mind, having to know that I'm coming here and promise you, I will go walk in or walk. But we can't put these stipulations on. Right. Just keep that in mind. And they do a lot of short presentation.
They can be allowed to speak at the next regular meeting. 3 minutes, like anybody else. Anybody wants to make that motion?
Let's talk a little bit about.
Yeah.
So one proposal is from, it includes language that the entity that purposes would be architectural, cultural, and they would maintain that language would appear in the deed in accordance with statute that allows that as an exception. If the board were to go in that direction, the upset bid process, one of the other competitive processes would not be because there is an exception that will allow you to help someone if they're going to maintain the property with cultural, historical, architectural, certain other ones, significance. I do though think that you're required to get a fair price for the property. And while, and so the $70,000 offer, I believe legally difficult to accept if I was offering $100,000 or $100,000. I would point out that if the board is going to take to the upset process, which is correct, which that is chair, historically how you spoke already, then at that point, the use is not as important, right? Because you're going into the process. So as you're thinking about this, your options would be to exercise the exception to someone for the historical preservation or preservation at a price that's deemed to be fair, or whether $100,000 fair. But that would be an option. And I don't know the current $103,000 option as well as the but if you were to exercise that historical preservation, that money does go into the deed, and they have language in it to work back, give Then the other big picture philosophical thing I would add is that some school systems have sold property to groups with some amount of payments over time. Now, 10 years is a little long, but we certainly see some school systems in exchange for getting a more competitive dollar accept payments. You would, in such a scenario, immediately transfer ownership of the property, so you wouldn't be liable if when we're injured or whatever else, in the meantime, within maintenance obligations for a period of time. You would be like any other bank, say, we have to give you an but simply allowing payments is certainly not difficult to consider. You don't have to, I'm not saying you should, but it's certainly something that is not totally out of line. If you were to accept one of these and you begin the bid process, you would give the other bidder similar options. So in other words, if you accept $103,000, 10% down for 6 years, version of that, the upside bid process, other people would get the opportunity to pay 6 years. Or you could say to the group that you're interested only in a cash offer, cash out that closing, and then see bank financing. Those are some procedural things to think about. Yes.
You suggest it'd be best to maybe table this to the next meeting and let two groups come in and do a presentation?
I do think so, and I did share, and I agree with you as it relates to the public comment aspect of this issue, but I do think that either the public comment itself or your policies could allow the board to provide a little more time to people who would want to present on this issue. If the board wanted to get as much information as possible, so this is the
Which time would you suggest? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, it's up to the board. There may not be interested in the board.
Well, if they are, I'd like to set that today so both groups would know coming in they've got a 5-minute presentation or they got 35 presentations.
Do something in 3 minutes. I think at least 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's just my suggestion.
Well, I'll entertain a motion then to go to the table.
I make a motion that
Maximum 10 to 15 minutes, right?
Yes,
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Silvers, second by Ms. Chambers.
Oh, Ms. raised the, do we already have a motion on this item?
Good point. When I first spoke, I said I made a motion.
Oh, okay.
Thought what I
Repeat
said. I might not have. Oh, that's what I said, but I didn't get a second.
what was your motion?
My motion was that we table the discussion, have the groups come back before us with a detailed picture of what they plan to use the site for.
And mine was just in time before 3 minutes.
So could he amend
But
her?
there are two issues.
Or can you amend yours to time, Ms. Fuller?
You want to agree with to add on your motion to 10
That
minutes?
will be fine.
Will that be
That will
agreeable
be
with
fine,
you?
yes, sir.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion by Ms. Bullock, second by Ms. Chambers. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, likewise. Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Davis. 2021, 2022 Chiller Charlie contracts.
Good afternoon, Chairman
Lamb, members of the board, and Dr. Ellis. I come before you today in a contract chitter chatter, which provides speech and language services for students noted on IEPs. I am requesting approval to enter into this contract. The contract will allow us to provide the mandated services, identify individual student IEPs at the assigned schools, and on behalf of the superintendent, I am requesting that approval. The amount is $320,000 for school-age children and $60,000 for preschool and private school students.
I will entertain a motion to approve the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Silver, second by Ms. Washington. All in favor, say aye. 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 Oh, excuse me, Mr. Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Opposed? Motion carried. Certica Solutions in Robin Griffin.
Good afternoon. This is a recurring contract for our benchmark software. The cost is $127,625, which is exactly the same it was last year. If you remember, our benchmarks are given at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year as a way of monitoring student progress. The superintendent recommends that the board approve this contract.
I will entertain a motion to approve the Certica Solutions contract. Motion by Mr. Silver, second by Ms. Chambers. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, likewise. Motion carried. Verizon Service Agreement, Mr. McKean.
This Verizon service is an existing agreement. This is our district cell phones, and the financial implication is about $110,000 a year. The superintendent is recommending this item to be approved.
So
motion by Ms. Chambers, second. Second by Ms. S. Bullock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, aye. Carried. Policy committee updates. Final approval. Catalano.
Good afternoon. We have before you two policies that have been approved and sat for 30 days, and that were North Carolina School Board Association policies, and one policy that was a Nash County Public School policy. So a total of 3 policies that we have before you to be approved that have already sat for 30 days. The superintendent recommends, or the Board of Education Policy Committee recommends the acceptance of these policies for final approval.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ms. Bullock to approve. Second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Dunton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. Motion carried. The next scheduled meeting for the school board, August 2nd, 5 o'clock, committee meeting.
Yes, there's some first read policies also.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr.
Okay. We have got 5 additional policies that are approved by the policy committee. For them, School Board Association revisions, and one of them, Nash County Public School Policy revision. And the Board of Education Policy Committee is recommending the acceptance of these policies for first read, sit for 30 days.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ms. Bullock to approve. Second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Chambers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. Motion carried. Meeting August 2nd, 5 o'clock, committee meeting, 5:30, student services operation, 6 o'clock, academic versus 6:30, the work session, 7 o'clock, the regular meeting. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Silver.
Second.
Second by Ms. Chambers. All in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, Opposed, likewise. Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, sir.